When I did the race in 2022, it was by far the longest race I'd ever done. Previous to that, it had been a 3-hour marathon was my longest race. And really since then, I've been continuing to explore my limits of human endurance. And I think being part of a race and being part of the community, especially the team aspect, is something that really speaks to me as a great opportunity to explore my limits once again and see if we can finish this as a team.
This race is a beautiful, dark beast.
It's the hardest race in the world.
I'm not quitting.
One of the toughest things humanly possible.
What is the ultimate proof of human capacity?
You have to put in a lot of hard work to achieve results in endurance sports. Even if there were no races, I would still put in all this work. It's just fun to be out in nature, working hard and pushing your limits and trying to get a little bit faster and a little bit stronger. So that's really informed my training philosophy over the last couple of years, trying to challenge myself with new things and longer things, but also bringing a lot of joy to that process. Pain is inevitable, but the suffering is optional. So really finding joy in that daily grind is important to me. Fully present in it, I think, is important too. Coming fully ready to dedicate yourself to whatever the task is that day. We're in the Deschutes National Forest. This is a nice forest because it's pretty thin. You can run it. Well, you don't need to be on the trails. You can just follow a bearing. Being able to find joy in the grind, I think, is maybe something unique to my personality. It's easier for me to get into a flow state or get just absorbed in the moment of moving through nature. It's just kind of a thing that makes sense to me. I usually tell my wife I'm going to be back in about an hour and a half, and then it's like 2.5 hours. So I usually lose track of time out here. Get in trouble for that. Living here, there's a lot of seasonality. You can't run in the mountains in the winter here. There's too much snow. So that's why I learned to ski, or tried to learn to ski when I moved here, and I'm working on that. We're getting close to the summit. It's getting a little thinner on the trees, and we're pretty socked in a cloud. It's about 8,000 feet above sea level, and we won't be able to see any view today because we're socked in. So the uphill is pretty easy for me from being a runner. You just got to go up. But coming downhill is more of an adventure. I'm still learning how to turn and not crash on the downhills. This is a really nice mountain tour because it's close to town. You don't have to do any sort of approach, and it's a very gentle slope for beginner skiers like me. One of the advantages of living in Bend is that you can do a lot of different activities in the same day. My training day-to-day looks sort of like whatever fits in around working from home. Skate skiing is only about 20 minutes drive from home, so I can get here before work and get back. So I do that a lot of mornings. It's nice because it's freshly groomed. It's really difficult for me. I'm not super comfortable on the snow. Fell a couple times on camera, so that was fun. And then swimming, we live close to the pool, so do a lot of swimming and running around town as well before and after work. Usually I'll work out twice a day, training for one water, something in the morning and then something after work too. One reason I really like coming to the track in my training sessions is the social aspect. It's really fun to be a part of a running group, to come here, do some interval workouts, do some faster stuff, and have people to do that with. The track keeps you really honest. The time's always the same, or the distance is always the same, so the times don't lie. That's why I work the track into my training. Doing the inaugural race in 2022 was an amazing experience.
Okay. We're good.
We had a positive attitude the whole way, and we really kept moving really well the whole way.
That's why my hands are white too. Even in the sun, you're still feeling really cold.
I think the second night of racing was hard on all of the teams, but especially our team. We were starting to get cold and more sleep deprived.
Do you have eyes on Tim?
I think a moment where I realized I was really faltering was I was starting to see plants look like animals. Plants would blow in the wind and I would think they were animals and I would like jump away from them.
Did you see him?
We're still going this way though, right?
No, we're going this way right
Oh. I told you we could just still have a chance.
You guys are doing amazing. So
I'm not okay though, Jason.
I know we got sleeping bags laid out.
When we got to Uto after about 48 hours, Renee got really cold and Tim and I were also cold.
I'm not quitting.
We're not, nobody's quitting. I want you to drink a little more of that. We're gonna get some food in you.
I certainly do not want her to get in for a 6K swim. No.
And it was time to call it an end for 2022, but it was one of the toughest decisions I've ever made.
Feeling good? Super proud of us and how we came together. And
We learned during it how to be even better as a team.
My wife and I got married in 2023, and we welcomed our first child, Callan, in December of 2024. So he's about 10 weeks old now, and he'll be less than a year by the time one water race completes. Have fun at yoga.
I think Chris he's a little stubborn. He's also very competitive, but mostly with himself. And he's extremely disciplined and like dedicated to whatever his goals are. The thing that I'm impressed by is that he seems to enjoy it, and it gives him fuel for the rest of the things he does during the day.
Another philosophy I bring to my training comes from my work experience, is the concept of Kaizen, which is a concept from the Japanese, and it sort of means continuous improvement. I think it really applies in a race like the One Water. Lots of little things go wrong, and you have to be willing to make adjustments and adaptations. And the same in training, on long training runs. Just being able to constantly change small things and add up to making forward progress, and really, I think, pays dividends in the long run. Have you done the sauna before here?
I haven't done this sauna. I've done a couple in some other places, but I'm pretty excited that we have this now.
It's funny in a race where there's fewer than 30 people in the entire world doing this race, that two of us are on different teams in the same small town here in Oregon. It's a coincidence in some ways, but in other ways it makes sense because Bend is such a hub of endurance athletes in all these endurance sports here. It makes sense to me.
It's awesome that I have Chris here in the same city as me. The river needs to be a lot closer.
I know. It's the walk back I'm worried about.
I'm definitely going to use it to my advantage. We're definitely going to go on some training runs. You know, we're already kind of sharing our tips and tricks. So yeah, I feel super lucky.
Oh my God! I mean, it sounded amazing, like, whoa, I've never heard of this race, it sounds awesome. And then the more that we get into it, I think it's dawning on me how challenging it's going to be. But it's not put me off, so that's good, right?